Now, one of the things that happens, as you guys know, is that the Democrats can basically get away with anything. They can pretty much get away with anything because the media runs cover for them. So if Trump had had any of these sort of gaffes, if Trump had said, I mean, really think about it for just a second. If Trump had said that this man, Putin, cannot remain in power, the front page of every single newspaper would say that Donald Trump is leading us into World War III, that we are about to have nukes dropped on our major cities, the world is going to come to an end, et cetera, et cetera. But instead they basically, even though he muddles it and confuses it, and he says, I didn't say it, and then he repeats it, they kind of run cover for him. And nobody runs cover like a good anchor over at CNN. Here is Don Lemon.
I'm going to say my interpretation of this, as I said over the weekend, right after the president said it, being here in the region in Ukraine. The president is saying exactly what most of the world feels about Vladimir Putin. Now, he did not in that speech say that Vladimir Putin should be removed or we're going to take him out of power. He said this man should not remain in power.
You see these ridiculous semantic games. Now, first off, Don Lemon pretends he's a journalist. He often says he's a journalist. And I want to be very clear. I often say it. I am not a journalist. I am a guy who sits in a room with a couple other people. And in the morning, I try to think about what I want to talk about. And I tell you the best stuff I can tell you, right? I try to analyze things the best possible way, translate some of the nonsense, and then hopefully you listen and then you go about your daily life. Don Lemon pretends he's a journalist, which would be an impartial arbiter of the truth. And he would present it to you and walk away. But as he just said there, he's analyzing what the president said. So the implication is, even though he said this man cannot remain in power, he didn't really mean this man can't remain in power. He just sort of said that, but that's not the thing that he meant. And also the implication also that no one would believe that, which is also what Biden said. No one would believe that I said the thing that I just said. They're gaslighting all of us at all times. But you're not going to believe this. Another guy on CNN, this Jake Tapper, and he's just a Democrat activist who, you know, he's an anchor, but okay, so be it. He sort of almost kind of gets it the way he asked this question, maybe a little.
Caitlin, President Biden suggested that no one could have interpreted his remarks as calling for regime change.
Of course, Jake, many people raised that question of whether or not that is what he was advocating for at the end of the speech. But today he says he is not walking back his statement that President Putin cannot remain in power. But Jake, he also says he is not stating a new policy from the United States government.
As you can see, I've put on my news anchor glasses so that I can analyze that clip properly. Now, you got the Don Lemon over there saying, no, that's not what he said. Nobody believes that's what he said. Then Jake Tapper actually asked a somewhat proper question. Maybe it's because of the glasses, which is, hey, maybe some people kind of took it the wrong way. You see what's going on here? We got a problem. But the endless chaos absolutely continues over the last couple of days. Like, it's seriously, this is bananas level stuff. Did you ever see the Woody Allen movie Bananas? We're entering into the bananas level of all of this. And even Obama era people, Leon Panetta, who was the defense secretary under Barack Obama, he even thinks that Joe Biden is causing some confusion, and that might be a bit of a problem.
At this point in the game, you really got to keep your messages very simple and very direct. And I think this created some confusion that wasn't helpful.
Yes, I mean, President Macron has said as much. This has created, I think, more than confusion in terms of the tension that it has for people trying to negotiate with Putin.
You know shit's bad when CNN is starting to make a little bit of sense and they're bringing on people to actually say something honest because they want, by default position, they want to run cover. That is the nature of the network. So when they're actually asking the right questions, Jake Tapper, you asked the right question. When they are actually bringing on a former defense secretary from Obama, who Joe Biden may not remember it, but Joe Biden was his number 2 guy. He was the VP. And he's saying this is causing confusion. Then there's a real problem in the country.